Good evening, and welcome to the Universidad Europea de Madrid. My name is Alan Palmer, Director of Academic Orientation, and it is both an honor and a pleasure to welcome you to our first International Open House event of the year, which aims to shed light upon our bachelor's degrees taught 100% in English. Overall, we are a private international university whose main campus in Madrid is located 15 kilometers to the southwest of the city center within the town of Villaviciosa de Odón. Although do note, we do have another smaller, more boutique-style campus in Alcobendas, located in the north of Madrid. We also boast campuses in Valencia, as well as in the Canary Islands in Tenerife. I would say that our university is characterized and truly driven by our emphasis of learning by doing. That is, a large portion of our degree's curricula are spent outside of the traditional classroom, within our on-campus laboratories, workshops, simulation zones, as well as in real-life professional settings, within the realms of, for example, airport infrastructure, historic building restoration, satellite and aircraft design, mechanical supply chain, automobile manufacturing, robotics and renewable energy, just to name a few. Studying at the Universidad Europea is not just a place where you will attend classes, participate in internships, research, and obtain your degree, but rather it is a platform for you to spring into the world with a more globalized, digitalized, and entrepreneurial mentality. We also foster a multicultural environment in which 1 in every 3 students are international. So, aside from explaining the curricula of our degrees offered in English, providing an overview of campus life and culture, detailing the admissions process, and answering all of your questions, I'm also aware that many of you will be departing your respective home countries and relocating to Spain to embark on this new chapter. As a foreigner myself, that is one thing that you and I will share in common. Having resided, studied, and worked in Spain for 7, going on 8 years, I also look forward to talking about the reality of relocating to Spain and forming part of this distinguished university community. We thoroughly hope you find this event insightful and beneficial as you research the various options of which university do I choose. In the following short video, the rector of the Universidad Europea de Madrid, Dr. Elena Gazapo, will speak about our academic model.
Hola, mi nombre es Elena Gazapo, soy la rectora de la Universidad Europea de Madrid y quiero darte las gracias por estar con nosotros en nuestra jornada de puertas abiertas. Sabemos que estás en un momento muy importante de tu vida. Estás a punto de comenzar una nueva etapa. Un futuro que comienza en la elección de universidad, ya sea para cursar una titulación de grado o un ciclo formativo de grado superior. La Universidad Europea está formada por una red de instituciones presentes en Madrid, Valencia, Canarias, Oporto y Lisboa, que comparten una visión única, la visión One University. Con más de 25 años de trayectoria, 25.000 alumnos y más de 80.000 egresados, proporcionamos a nuestros estudiantes una educación integral, formando líderes y profesionales preparados para dar respuesta a las necesidades de un mundo global, para aportar valor en sus profesiones y contribuir al progreso social siempre desde un espíritu emprendedor y de compromiso ético. Nuestro compromiso con nuestros estudiantes se sustenta en un sólido modelo académico eminentemente práctico, que permite conocer la realidad profesional en un entorno global y multicultural donde más del 30% de los estudiantes son internacionales y con acuerdos de intercambios y prácticas en más de 70 países. En la Universidad Europea de Madrid contamos con una amplia oferta formativa en la gran mayoría de las áreas de conocimiento, con más de 200 grados, ciclos formativos de grado superior, posgrados y programas de la Escuela Universitaria Real Madrid Universidad Europea. Nuestra comunidad docente permanece en constante contacto con las profesiones para garantizar una formación a la vanguardia de las necesidades del mercado laboral, lo que se traduce en más de 6.000 acuerdos de colaboración con empresas y con elevadas tasas de empleabilidad cercanas al 90% y con rangos salariales un 40% por encima de la media de universidades privadas. Este contacto con las profesiones también se pone de manifiesto en nuestra oferta académica, en permanente actualización para responder a las necesidades profesionales en diferentes áreas como educación, ingeniería o comunicación, por nombrar algunas de ellas. Además, en los últimos meses ha quedado de manifiesto la importancia del cuidado de la salud como elemento clave para la sociedad. Por eso apoyamos el concepto One Health, una sola salud, una estrategia global que defiende que la salud humana y la salud animal son interdependientes y están vinculadas a los ecosistemas en los que coexisten. Lo concebimos y lo implementamos a través de una nueva propuesta formativa que incluye biomedicina, veterinaria y medio ambiente y sostenibilidad. En la Universidad Europea queremos acompañarte en tu viaje y lo hacemos a través de nuestro modelo académico de aprendizaje experiencial HighFlex, que tiene un enfoque eminentemente práctico que te permitirá adquirir los conocimientos, las competencias y valores adecuados para el desarrollo de tu futura profesión, así como afrontar los retos de la transformación social y digital. Un viaje de aprendizaje en el que contarás con las mejores instalaciones, equipo docente y tecnología para que aprendas haciendo, enfrentándote desde los primeros años de formación a situaciones simuladas y reales del día a día de las profesiones. Un modelo que te permitirá ganar horas de vuelo gracias a la última tecnología en laboratorios y entornos virtuales, contando siempre con la cercanía y la dedicación constante de tus profesores. ¿Quieres saber cómo es el día a día estudiando en la Universidad Europea? Tendrás a tu disposición un campus seguro, con magníficas instalaciones y laboratorios, como Industria 4.0, que cuenta con las principales tecnologías como Internet de las Cosas, ciberseguridad, sensores o Big Data, entre otros, para garantizar un aprendizaje basado en proyectos con el estado del arte de la cuarta revolución industrial. El Human Performance Research Lab, un espacio de última generación para el aprendizaje transdisciplinar sobre los beneficios y usos del ejercicio físico en la salud y en el rendimiento de las personas. O el hospital simulado, para que puedas practicar con las situaciones que viven los profesionales sanitarios, pero en un entorno seguro. El elevado número de profesores que siguen en ejercicio profesional, cuya enseñanza está directamente relacionada con su experiencia laboral, te garantizan una conexión con el mundo real desde el primer año. Además, contarás con aulas dotadas con la última tecnología y podrás hacer uso de diferentes herramientas digitales como entornos de simulación, gamificación, laboratorios virtuales y contenidos digitales de alto valor añadido. Todo ello accesible también fuera del horario de clase para maximizar tus horas de vuelo. Y todo esto en el entorno de nuestros campus seguros, en los que podrás participar en múltiples actividades y exprimir al máximo la vida universitaria. Toda nuestra comunidad universitaria te está esperando para acompañarte en este viaje donde la educación personalizada, el conocimiento humano y la tecnología más avanzada se dan la mano. Te dejo con los equipos de facultades y escuelas que te van a mostrar tu día a día desde las áreas de conocimiento.
The Universidad Europea de Madrid was founded in 1989, and fortunately, between 30 and 40% of our students are international and come from more than 125 countries, making us one of the most diverse universities in all of Spain. As a student at the Universidad Europea, you will also have the opportunity to complement your training with internships and training placements in more than 40 countries worldwide. We have more than 25,000 students and 95,000 alumni between our three campuses in Madrid, Valencia, and the Canary Islands. And we pride ourselves on the fact that 89% of these students secure employment within their first year of graduating. We know that employability is important to you, which is why we strive to bring you as close as possible to the professional world from day one. Fortunately, we have signed agreements and built enduring relationships with a multitude of companies worldwide where you as a student will get that practical experience working hand in hand with a reputable professional of your field, be that an architect, an aeronautical engineer, a psychologist, a dentist, a CEO, the list goes on. As I mentioned, we are a university whose academic model is based on experiential learning, or learning by doing. Enjoy our Pioneer facilities where you will carry out coursework in environments that recreate professional spaces with the highest precision. These spaces are accessible even outside of class hours so that you can continue practicing and polishing your skills as much as you need. These environments allow you to learn in a safe way as a preliminary step to professional internships. Fortunately, we have more than 14,000 agreements with companies and institutions for you to carry out your curricular internship. In this learning methodology, you will have the unique opportunity to be guided by our expert faculty who are up to date with the latest trends in technology, and it's also worth mentioning and noting that 80% of our professors are active professionals within their respective fields, so you always have a close link to the professional world from day one. I would now like to explain our degrees offered 100% in English within our faculties, within our campus here in Villaviciosa de Odon. So let's start with the Faculty of Biomedical and Health Sciences. But before diving into the individual degrees, please enjoy this short video that paints a picture of our Faculty of Biomedical and Health Sciences. With more than 5,500 students since its creation, and 25% of them being international students, the Faculty of Biomedical and Health Sciences contributes to the development of each individual's potential to improve people's health and quality of life. As part of its facilities, the Universidad Europea has a simulated hospital, which you've seen in that video, that allows students to learn about clinical practices in a truly authentic setting. In this space, the possibilities are endless. We can simulate to precision anything from an intensive care unit, an operation room, to a delivery room. In fact, we even have a robot named Rufina who actually gives birth. Of course, this simulated hospital possesses all of the necessary spaces and technological devices, but in my humble opinion, the differentiating aspect of this facility is the ability to work as a team with different health professionals. For example, it is common for a psychology student to work collaboratively with our medical students. That interprofessional aspect of health sciences is at the heart of our simulated hospital. Overall, the training model integrates knowledge, competencies, skills, and values through a methodology based on interprofessional training and the resolution of real-life cases through advanced simulation techniques. Now, after gaining experience within our simulated settings, the students then treat real patients at both the Polyclinic and the University Dental Clinic, two centers located in the heart of Madrid, which provide more than 94,000 consultations and perform over 160,000 treatments a year. We also have one center located in the heart of Valencia for our students that study biomedical and health sciences in Valencia. Now, in this faculty, you can study the following bachelor's degrees offered 100% in English. The first I would like to point out is our bachelor's degree in dentistry, which is also proudly offered from our campus in Valencia. Students will learn with the latest technologies, such as the Smart Lab, in which they will employ unique virtual simulators, experiencing sensations almost identical to those they will feel with real-life patients. From the very beginning, students will acquire the necessary skills and abilities for patient care in the dental offices located in our simulated hospital. The next degree I would like to mention is our bachelor's degree in psychology. Within this degree, you will gain a deep understanding of human behavior to help improve society. Our degree has a strong practical approach, since from the third year, you will carry out internships in external centers and learn all about clinical practice with real patients in institutions and psychology clinics. All in all, you will complete more than 600 hours of internships, after which you will feel 100% comfortable treating and diagnosing patients in a real-life setting. But don't worry about attending real-life patients in your internships, as you will have ample experience working with our actors within our simulated hospital. Now, our actors can play the role of patients with a wide array of pathologies, anything from schizophrenia to a panic attack to an eating disorder. Having touched upon the two degrees which adhere to patient care, let's take a quick look at our bachelor's degrees in biomedicine and biotechnology. Biomedicine is a highly research-focused degree in which you will study the biological aspects of medical science with the aim of going beyond the borders of current medicine. Upon completing this degree, you will become a protagonist in scientific advances that will improve global health. Approximately 70% of all of the hours you will dedicate to this degree throughout the 4 years are spent within our state-of-the-art laboratories. Areas of emphasis within biomedicine include curing cancer, studying vaccines and their secondary effects, Alzheimer's disease, among many others. Now, let's touch upon our bachelor's degree in biotechnology, which is also proudly offered from our campus in Valencia. While this degree is similar to biomedicine, it is slightly wider in scope, allowing students to gain experience in various fields outside of the purely biomedical world, and with a bit more of a, I would say, entrepreneurial approach. You will learn about the pharmaceutical industry at large, as well as the latest technological advances in bioscience. Thanks to our innovative curriculum, you will acquire the skills needed to develop and improve the design of, for example, new drugs, food products, or the bioremediation of contaminated environments, among many others. As I mentioned, this degree is also offered within our campus of Valencia. Now, this will conclude our degrees offered in English within our Faculty of Biomedical and Health Sciences. So now, please enjoy this short video, which paints a picture of our Faculty of STEAM. We will now move on to the Faculty of STEAM. You may be wondering, what does STEAM mean? STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics. The schools of engineering, architecture, and design train top-notch professionals within an international and interprofessional approach through project-based learning and hands-on experience with leading companies within the sector. Fortunately, we provide our students with cutting-edge facilities such as our Digital Fabrication Laboratory, or Fab Lab, our design-oriented classrooms, our mechanical workshops, the Hub Emprende Business Incubator, a materials workshop, a wind tunnel that can produce winds of up to 150 kilometers an hour, just to name a few. The Universidad Europea is the first private institution to achieve the NAAB International Certification from the United States. This certification evaluates and recognizes international architecture programs of particularly high quality standards and caliber, equivalent to programs within the United States and Canada. We are also the only Spanish university validated by the Royal Institute of British Architecture, the RIBA, since 2019. Now, this is without doubt the most prestigious association of architects in the world, so we're very, very proud of that. We also boast agreements with reputable international universities, such as the University of California in Irvine, as well as with prominent companies such as Airbus, Siemens, Cepsa, Endesa, Indra, Repsol, Iberia, Altran, Bosch Security Systems, among others. Outside of the classroom, students have the opportunity to participate in university clubs as well. For example, our Formula WIM, our Robotics Club, Design Club, Air Division, Computing and New Technologies, just to name a few. All clubs are 100% comprised by students, but always with the support and guidance of our highly qualified teaching staff. Within this Faculty of STEAM, you can study the following English-taught courses. Let's first delve into our bachelor's degree in Fundamentals of Architecture. As I mentioned previously, the Universidad Europea is the first university in Europe to obtain the NAAB and the RIBA, the Royal Institute of British Architects International Accreditations, which will make it easier for you to practice your profession in the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom, so you choose. You will utilize innovative technologies of BIM methodology, digital manufacturing, and virtual reality, integrating them into your daily life. And you will also work in innovative laboratories, such as, like I mentioned in the beginning, our Fab Lab, our digital design workshops, our BIM classroom, or our rendering farm. Regarding our bachelor's degree in aerospace and aircraft engineering, you will learn how to design and manage aircraft manufacturing projects, calculate orbits, use avionics hardware and software, ensure safety control, control satellite missions, and monitor aeronautical systems. Students will have access to our state-of-the-art installations within the Faculty of STEAM. For example, our wind tunnel, with the aim of improving the curvature of an airplane's wing to produce greater lift. In addition to the aforementioned aircraft manufacturing companies I mentioned in the intro slide of this faculty, we also have an agreement with AENA, A-E-N-A, the public organization that manages Spanish airports, if you would like to work in, for example, airport infrastructure. Now, let's take a look at our bachelor's degree in Industrial Systems Engineering. Starting from the fundamentals of basic sciences, like physics, chemistry, mathematics, you will acquire mechanical knowledge such as resistance of materials, machine design, and manufacturing, which will allow you to participate in the manufacturing of any mechanical product, from the simplest to the most complex and delicate systems you can possibly imagine. Let's take a look at our bachelor's degree in computer engineering. As far as this degree is concerned, please note that 100% of our students secure employment within their first 6 months of finishing their studies. During your degree, you will have access to training facilities such as the network laboratories, the XR lab, augmented reality, the robotics and electronic laboratory, the tech factory, and even the simulated hospital. You will also train using Vanguard programs like IBM Azure, Google Cloud, and Office 365 solutions. The Universidad Europea also has its own cloud where you can access all of these programs outside of our campus from the comfort of your own home. The last engineering degree we will cover this evening is our bachelor's degree in civil engineering, for those who aspire to transform our natural and urban settings, constructing bridges, tunnels, highways, high-speed rail systems, improving renewable energy, public transportation, etc. We pride ourselves on being the first university in Spain to have a BIM classroom where you can carry out complete projects using this methodology. In addition, you will experiment in geology, hydraulics, materials, and soil mechanics laboratories. And within the Fab Lab, you can build your own prototypes. To conclude our faculty of STEAM, now let's move on to our degree in physics. During the first 2 years, you'll study the basic principles of this field. And once you're ready, you can choose to specialize in one of the 3 areas. Computing and data analysis, which focuses on quantum technology as well as many other innovative subjects. Materials, in which you will put into practice your tissue physics or nanotechnology subjects within the materials lab. Or lastly, the last specialty, major track is electronics, the most traditional and versatile branch of applied physics. Within the electronics track, you'll learn how electronic instrumentation works in practice. Students, overall, if you enjoy building, constructing, planning, drawing, giving form to objects, and transforming the world around us, STEAM may be right up your alley. Next, we will move on to our Faculty of Social Sciences and Communication. But first, please take a quick look at this short video that paints a picture of our Faculty of Social Sciences and Communication. So to recap, at this point, we've covered our faculties of biomedical and health sciences as well as STEAM. As you've seen in the video, let's now take a look at our Faculty of Social Sciences and Communication for our future business partners, entrepreneurs, diplomats, and audiovisual professionals. I would like to start by pointing out that the Universidad Europea is the first Spanish university to receive the prestigious ACBSP accreditation for our bachelor's degree in business administration and our bachelor's degree in marketing, which recognizes the quality of our training programs. We boast more than 100 partnerships with companies, institutions, law firms, and NGOs worldwide, like RTVE, Mediaset, A3 Media, Prisa, Telemadrid, Vocinto, Repsol, Zeppelin, Google, among many others. We have also forged relationships and signed agreements with leading universities around the world, such as the London School of Economics and the University of California, Berkeley. Students can put their knowledge into direct practice thanks to our professional laboratories, including our television set and green screen, our financial hub, our consulting lab, international negotiations lab, and our legal clinic, which is essentially a simulated hospital. Within this faculty, you can study the following degrees completely in English: The first I would like to mention is our Global Bachelor's degree in International Business. Within our Global Bachelor's degree in International Business, you will learn how to identify and use the key levers that facilitate business success in an international environment. My favorite aspect of this degree is that the students are required to study abroad in both their third and fourth years, being able to choose from more than 100 destinations thanks to the agreements with the best universities in Europe, North America, and Asia. In your fourth year, you will study in exclusive destinations such as McGill University in Canada or the University of California, Berkeley. Students studying our bachelor's degree in business administration, however, will employ a methodology that places the student and his or her passions and talents at the forefront. First, you will learn all about the realities of business, attend conferences and seminaries, visit companies, and carry out workshops. Then, you will work in virtual simulation environments, and after acquiring all the knowledge and skills you need to be successful, you will work on real projects for companies guided by a professor in our professional consulting lab. You may be wondering, what is the difference between international business and business administration? Of course, both degrees will provide you a deep understanding of the various procedures and departments of any healthy business. For example, management, finance, communication, marketing, accounting, and strategy, with an emphasis of developing your emotional intelligence, public speaking, and active listening skills. However, international business provides a more emphasis on legal components and the macroeconomic environment, while business administration tends to focus more on microeconomic matters. Now let's take a look at our bachelor's degree in business analytics, in which students will acquire the key analytical and management skills needed to succeed in the various departments of any company or business. This four-year degree is designed to provide essential training in mathematics, business intelligence, statistics, and programming so that students can develop a broad understanding of the sector and recognize the potential impact that big data can have on the business market. Our bachelor's degree in economics will prepare you to be an economist of the future within a fast-paced international environment. You will develop analysis and synthesis abilities, learning to use latest technology and innovation. In order to truly understand the aforementioned disciplines, international business, business administration, and business analytics, we truly need professionals trained in economics, as it serves as the base and foundation for the entire global economy at large. We will now depart from the world of business and move on to our global bachelor's degree in international relations, which is also proudly offered from our campus in Valencia. By studying this degree, you will become a true expert in diplomacy and gain a firm understanding of how sovereign states, NGOs, interest groups, banks, and other international entities communicate with one another, all from an international, political, economic, social, and legal perspective. If you envision yourself participating in internships within the United Nations, the European Union, or collaborating on a Spanish diplomatic mission abroad, perhaps this global bachelor's degree is right for you. As we conclude the presentation of this specific faculty, let's take a quick look at the world of communication. Our bachelor's degree in advertising trains professionals to understand the mindset and demands of the consumer and to create a strategic plan to penetrate any type of global market. But let's not forget about the importance of creativity and imagination required within this field. Students will learn to apply their creativity to make their target market or clientele truly fall in love with the product. Psychology of the consumer, market research, and event planning are just a few of the innovative subjects within this degree. Finally, let's discuss our bachelor's degree in media studies. This degree aims to train future professionals to work on diverse audiovisual products on any platform and in any medium, be that cinema, television, radio, video games. The curriculum includes subjects such as motion graphics, infographics, and data processing, transmedia narrative, app design, gamification, and entertainment formats. If you envision yourself on the big TV screen or working behind the camera, I suggest you research in detail this degree. And lastly, while we will not go into the specificities of these degrees, you can see these bottom four here are only offered within our campus of Valencia. So that will conclude our presentation of our degrees offered 100% in English within the Faculty of Social Sciences and Communication. Now please enjoy this short video that paints a picture of our Faculty of Sports Sciences. We will conclude the presentation of our bachelor's degrees taught in English within the Universidad Europea de Madrid with our Faculty of Sports Sciences. Interestingly, this faculty is considered one of the best in Spain to study the sports sciences and physiotherapy degrees, according to the newspaper El Mundo, as well as the prestigious Shanghai ranking. Also, the Edu Universal ranking places our MBA in sports management within the top 50 worldwide. We boast 30,000 square meters of state-of-the-art sports facilities, including our semi-Olympic sized swimming pools, our tennis and paddle courts, rock climbing wall, beach volleyball courts, track and football field, our fitness room, our human performance research lab. The list goes on and on. We are also proud partners of Real Madrid, thanks to our Escuela Universitaria Real Madrid Universidad Europea, which provides our students with the opportunity to specialize in a specific area of the sports sector, thanks to our wide portfolio of master's degrees taught from our campus in Alcobendas. Now, within this faculty, you can study the following degrees 100% in English. Our bachelor's degree in physiotherapy is the only degree in Spain accredited by the World Confederation of Physical Therapy. You will train in a safe, 100% real environment where you will confront many simulated clinical cases, interacting with other health students such as medicine, nursing, and pharmacy. From the very first year, students will also study within our structure and function laboratories, filled with anatomical models and virtual reality glasses, as well as our state-of-the-art human performance research lab. Kindly note, you can also embark on a double bachelor's degree in physical therapy and physical activity and sports sciences, which is 5.5 years in duration. Now, our global bachelor's degree in sports management is geared toward that student that loves the sports world, but doesn't envision herself or himself playing or training professionally. Studying this degree, we want you to have the profile that managers in the sports industry are looking for: a high-quality university education, a broad business vision, versatility, and an international vision. If you see yourself creating your own brand, overseeing the construction of sports facilities, specializing in sports publicity or journalism, perhaps this degree is right for you. On the other hand, our bachelor's degree in physical activity and sports sciences aims to prepare students to become leading professionals within the world of fitness and health. The first 2 years, students will choose a total of 8 sports, for example, basketball, soccer, handball, golf, cycling, swimming and aquatic activities, and volleyball. Then, in their final 2 years, students will specialize in training within 2 sports, soccer and basketball. Like the other degrees within this faculty, physical activity and sports sciences entails a 4-year curriculum. However, as I mentioned, you also have the option of doing a double degree, combining this with physical therapy in 5.5 years or with primary education. However, these double degrees are only offered in Spanish. We will now move on to our admissions process, scholarship programs, living in Spain, and finally our Q&A session. But prior to that, please enjoy this short video about our campus here in Villaviciosa de Odón. I would now like to touch upon the admissions process. First, I would like to mention that the application window for this upcoming 2023-2024 academic year is currently open, and we do encourage you all to participate. You may be wondering, what do I have to do? Well, the first step will be to establish contact with one of our dedicated enrollment advisors, who will be your main point of contact throughout the admissions process up until you register for classes. Now, we will assign you an advisor that is a true expert in the degree of your choice, answering any questions you may have and providing you and your family a campus tour of our installations. Your advisor will give you access to your pre-student portal and send you your online admissions tests, which consist of, irrelevant of your degree, as you can see there on the screen, a professional skills and abilities test, which will evaluate, for example, how you work in group settings, how you make decisions, what your level of empathy and self-motivation are like. Secondly, you will complete a written interview comprised of 5 questions, in which you will need to respond as honestly and detailed as possible. Lastly, all students, regardless of any previous official language certificates they may have, will need to take a Spanish level test and an English level test. These are 50 minutes in duration and contain a grammar, listening, and reading section. Now, kindly note that if your maternal language is either Spanish or English, you do not need to take that specific test. Upon completing your online admissions tests, our selection committee, comprised of about 3 to 4 professors, will evaluate your results and within about 48 to 72 hours, relay your admission status to your advisor, who will be in touch with you as soon as possible. If you're admitted and the Universidad Europea is the right fit for you, your next step will be to reserve your place within your pre-student portal. This will guarantee your spot within your bachelor's degree, allow you to proceed forward with the registration process, permit you to apply for scholarships, and of course, provide you that peace of mind, knowing you are officially off to university in the fall of 2023. Now, there are a limited number of spaces per degree, so it is my recommendation to avoid waiting until the last minute. As I mentioned, the Universidad Europea de Madrid does offer a competitive scholarship program that provides financial aid to our students of particularly high academic and/or athletic performance. Kindly note that within our webpage, you will find numerous scholarships. However, I would like to highlight the two that are applicable to our international students, like yourselves. The first is the Beca de Excelencia, or the Scholarship of Excellence, which is awarded to students of high academic standing whose annual household income does not exceed 100,000 euros a year. This scholarship covers 3,000 euros of your tuition annually, and do note that you can apply for this scholarship between March 16th and July 16th of this year, only if your reservation fee has been paid. You will submit your final high school grades through our online scholarship portal, and do note that any application submitted after July 16th will not be considered. The second is the Plan Compite, or the Plan Compete, granted to those incoming scholar athletes of particularly high athletic prowess and performance. These candidates must accredit their athletic standing within the last year through the Ministry or Federation of Sports within their home country. This scholarship will cover 30% of your tuition, excluding the reservation fee and file opening fee, and students can apply for this scholarship starting April 1st. You may be wondering, can I apply for both? Yes, you can apply for both scholarships. And if granted both, the student will receive the one that is most financially beneficial. Lastly, I would like to point out that for all incoming students for our 2023-2024 academic year, we do have an early enrollment discount of 50% in the reservation fee this upcoming month of February. Now, this discount applies to all of the aforementioned degrees with the exception of dentistry. Prior to moving on to our Q&A session, I would like to touch briefly upon the experience of living in Madrid, particularly for those interested students that will be relocating from another country. As a U.S. citizen myself from Memphis, Tennessee, I've had the fortune of calling Madrid home for, as I mentioned, 7 going on 8 years. Now, Madrid is Spain's main cultural and business hub, abundant in world-class museums like the Prado, the Reina Sofia, and the Thyssen, sports venues, awe-inspiring architecture and monuments, parks and green spaces, and houses the headquarters of countless multinational companies, institutions, and hospitals. Madrid is an extremely welcoming city and boasts a street life, vibrancy, hospitality, and overall quality of life comparable to none, in my humble opinion. Located in the geographic center of the nation, Madrid is well connected by air and rail to all corners of Spain and other major European cities. Thanks to our high-speed train system, we are just about 2.5 hours from Barcelona, Valencia, Sevilla, and Malaga, and just about 6 hours driving from Portugal's 2 major cities, the capital of Lisbon and Porto in the north. Not to mention, the day trip excursions from Madrid are endless. For those nature enthusiasts, Madrid is just a 45-minute drive from the Sierra de Guadarrama, a towering mountain range that bisects the Iberian Peninsula. And for those history buffs out there like myself, we are just an hour's drive away from the medieval towns of Toledo, Segovia, and Avila. Madrid has a mild, dry, and pleasant climate year-round, although do note it is quite chilly in these months of December to February and very hot in the months of July and August. As far as living situations are concerned, we do offer 2 on-campus student dormitories that are managed by a company called Xior, that's Xior. Additionally, there are ample student residences within the town of Villaviciosa de Odón, just a few minutes from campus by bus. However, for those of you wishing to live right in the middle of the hustle and bustle and the heart of downtown Madrid, the campus is fortunately well connected by public transport. For example, the commute from Madrid's Príncipe Pío station to our campus takes approximately 30 minutes, and aside from public transportation, our university provides our own transportation with buses departing from Moncloa 6 times a day. Regarding health insurance, there are various options at your disposal. However, according to their prices, coverage, and overall quality of doctors and healthcare staff, we would recommend Nueva Mutua Sanitaria, whose contact information you will find there on the screen. Lastly, regarding your student visa, Please note that we will provide all the documentation you will need to file for your visa through the Spanish embassy or consulate within your home country, once you have confirmed your place and paid your reservation fee for the upcoming academic year. We hope you enjoy this short video about our university clubs and extracurricular activities before opening the floor for questions and answers.
La vida universitaria te está esperando. Sabes que cuentas con más de 25 clubes donde puedes desarrollar todas tus habilidades y además conocer personas con tu misma afición.
¿Te gusta diseñar y construir objetos? Te invito a que te unas a los clubes de Fórmula, Robótica, Informática, Ciencias, Física, Game Studio o Air Division. Además, estos equipos participan en competiciones a nivel nacional e internacional, representando a nuestra universidad.
Tal vez te interesen actividades más culturales, así que puedes apuntarte al club de cine, al de teatro o al de fotografía.
Seguro que tienes el talento necesario.
También tenemos clubes para quienes quieran divertirse con juegos o deporte, como el club de eSport, el entrenamiento, club de rol o ajedrez. Jaque mate.
¿Eres trotamundos? Entonces tus clubes son o Relaciones Internacionales o Modelos de Naciones Unidas, que van a encuentros internacionales y nacionales. De hecho, este año fueron a París y a Dubái para representarnos.
En cambio, si lo tuyo es medicina, odontología, fisioterapia, psicología, biotecnología o ingeniería biomédica, contamos con agrupaciones para titulaciones específicas.
Estás a la última en todo, entonces no puedes perderte clubes como Pride
O podcast.
Y si aún así no encuentras un club que te interese, puedes crear uno nuevo.
So we will now open the floor for Q&A. Within the live chat, you are free to ask us any questions you may have about each degree, the admissions process, our campus, living in Spain, etc. My colleagues or myself will answer each in order of reception. Now, we are happy to answer any and all questions now, but please note that tomorrow we will get in contact with you over email to send you your brochure of your degree with the tuition fees, and we will assign you your very own dedicated enrollment advisor. So I've had to put on my glasses here to read some of the questions that have rolled through. And the first question is for my colleague Yaitha, who's one of our dedicated enrollment advisors for biomedical and health sciences. She has a question from Leah. Leah, thank you so much for your question. What's the admission process for the bachelor's degree in odont and dentistry and the documentation required according to my profile? I will be on the 25th of August on your campus, and I have a master's in marketing with 300 credits from France. So that's a great question, Leah, and Yaitha will happily answer that within our live chat. This next question is for me, and this is a question from Yosra Safraulis. Thank you so much, Yosra, for your question. The question is there a hospitality pack for international students to help with residency and accommodation? Yes, there is. We will provide you with assistance with these services. And again, one of our dedicated enrollment advisors that we will put you in contact with would be happy to clarify any of that. And of course, regarding the residency, as I mentioned, we do have 2 on-campus dorms here on campus. They're called Picasso and Velasquez, respectively. They house up to 500 students. So if you would like to live on campus, that is an option. But as I mentioned, there are various student dorms within the town of Villaviciosa de Odon as well. So great question. Thank you so much. This next question is for my colleague Virginia, who is one of our dedicated enrollment advisors for the Faculty of STEAM. The question is, I am from Rwanda and I need to study civil engineering for architecture. What is available? So again, it looks like it looks like Rashid is looking to kind of combine civil engineering and architecture. Of course, both degrees do have areas in common, but Virginia is a true expert in STEAM, and she would be happy to clarify that for you. This is another question for me, and again, this is a question from Yosra. Are there Spanish courses face-to-face included in the university? So they are not included in the university, but we do recognize that many of you will be moving to Spain and do not speak Spanish or speak very minimally, and that you will want to improve your level. Fortunately, we do offer Spanish classes here on campus. We do have amazing professors and tutors that are here to schedule weekly classes with you, of course, for a fee. So this is another question for me, and this is a question from Leah again. What is the motivation test about for the bachelor's degree in dentistry? Thank you so much for your question. So the motivational test is for all incoming students. We will not ask you any questions related to dentistry, but rather they are kind of open-ended questions that will evaluate how you work in group settings, how you make decisions, what your level of empathy is like, what your self-motivation is like, what your work ethic is like, how you organize yourself. When our professors are organizing the practical side of classes, when you are going to be collaborating in group settings, they will reference this test before placing you within a specific group. So great question. So this is another question. Here we are. Okay, this is another question for me. What are the requirements to enter civil engineering? So to access our degree in civil engineering, you will just simply need to be in contact with an advisor from the Faculty of STEAM. That advisor will give you access to your pre-student portal. You will submit your registration form as well as a photocopy of your passport. Upon receiving that documentation, your advisor will send you your admissions tests. Like, as I mentioned, you will have to do a Spanish test, an English test, a motivational interview, as well as a skills and abilities tests. So once completing those tests, you will take those online from home. It will take you about anywhere from 2.5 to 3, at most 4 hours. They will be sent electronically to our selection committee. And if you are admitted, your advisor will explain to you how to reserve your place and confirm your reservation for the upcoming year. And then, of course, you will have to submit your high school diploma. And depending on which country you come from, you will need to either accredit that through the UNED, the UNED, the Universidad de Educación a Distancia, or through the Spanish Ministry of Education, Culture, and Sport. And again, one of our dedicated enrollment advisor would be happy to clarify that process. So here is a question again for me, and this is from, let's see here, and the question is there any sports scholarship? And yes, we do fortunately have the scholarship called the Plan Compite. So if you are a highly qualified athlete, if you can explain the degree, if you can accredit your athletic standing within your home country, you can apply for the Plan Compite, which would cover up to 30% of your tuition, excluding the reservation fee and the file opening fee. So again, if you are an athlete, if you're a scholar athlete, please do apply for the Plan Compite. Okay, so we do have a couple more questions that have rolled through. This is from Erica. Erica, thank you so much for your question. Are there scholarship programs for deserving students? Yes. So we do have the Beca de Excelencia, the Scholarship of Excellence. So Erica, if you do have good grades from high school, from both your second to last and your last year, your junior and senior year of high school, primero or segundo de bachillerato, and your annual family income does not exceed 100,000 euros a year, you can apply for the Scholarship of Excellence, which would cover 3,000 euros a year off of your tuition. Here's another question for me. Is the bachelor's degree internationally recognized? The answer is yes. All of our degrees here are official within the European Union. And for example, our degree in architecture is also official within the United States as well as in the United Kingdom, thanks to the REBA and the NAAB certifications that I explained. So here we do have quite a few more questions that have rolled in. It's great to see that you all have lots of questions. And this is from Mackay Williams. So thank you so much for your question. The dentistry course, complete English for the 4th and 5th year. Again, so the dentistry course is completed in English in the 4th and 5th year. Yes, so great. Now I understand the question. So yes, all of the theoretical classes, all of your coursework will take place 100% in English. However, starting your 4th year, you will participate in internships here in Spain, in which you will most likely be attending Spanish-speaking patients, in which case you will need to have a minimum of a B2 level in order to start your internships. But again, as I mentioned, you have 4 years to, the first 3 years to really polish your Spanish-speaking skills. As I mentioned, we do have a team of Spanish professors here on campus that would be happy to schedule weekly Spanish classes with you for you to hone your Spanish-speaking abilities. All right, so we do have another question coming in from Hilde. Okay. And the question is, how does it work with the living accommodations? Do you need to arrange this in advance, or is a room guaranteed when you are from another country? And how many people have residences on campus? Again, so our campuses, our student dormitories only house up to 500 students. So no, you are not guaranteed a room, because there are some students that want to live on campus. There are some students that want to live close to campus, but not on campus, and some that want to live right in the heart of Madrid, just about 30 minutes from campus. So yes, you will need to get in contact with Zior. The contact information was shown on that screen. But again, one of our advisors would be happy to send that information over so that you can get in contact with Zior. You can schedule a guided visit of the dormitories here on campus. They are amazing, I will admit. So here's another question for me. Hi, I would like to do Erasmus for a half a year, and I'm looking at Germany. Currently, I'm studying business administration and psychology. Are there any special requirements to be accepted? Thank you so much, and one of my colleagues will answer that within the live chat. So thank you so much for that question. Here is a question from Anne Capucine. Anne is wondering, in which language are the veterinary studies? Are they in English or are they in Spanish? So our veterinary school at this point is offered only 100% in Spanish. Perhaps in the future we will offer it in English, but at this point we only offer our bachelor's degree in veterinary sciences only in Spanish. All right, we have another question from Anne Capucine. Thank you so much for your questions and your interest. You also mentioned earlier that your degrees are official and recognized worldwide. Does that mean that they are valid outside of Europe as well? And our degrees are official within the entirety of the European Union, Typically, when students do study a degree here in Europe and then they would like to go practice overseas, there's usually some form of accreditation or homologation process needed. But again, all of our degrees are recognized completely within the European Union. And we have another question that's rolled in from Lena. Thank you so much for your question, Lena. There's student loans that pay for dentistry students. Are there student loans that pay for dentistry students? And the answer is yes, we do have an agreement with La Caixa Bank. And you can reach out to them in this number. And again, I'm going to tell you the number right now. That's +34 913 402 690. Again, we have an agreement with La Caixa Bank, and you can contact them at this following phone number: +34 913 402 690. Thanks for your question, Lena. And we have another question that's rolled in from Yosra. How many students are there per class in health and science studies? So typically for our theoretical classes, you will have students, there will be approximately between 30 and 40 students per class. However, when it gets a little bit more practical and hands-on, if you're really doing an in-depth, complex, practical coursework within one of our state-of-the-art installations, that number is typically reduced. In some cases, it can be 3 students to 1 professor or 10 students to 1 professor. But for the theoretical classes, there's usually about 30 to 40 students per class. Great. And here's a question for my colleague Yaitha from our biomedical and health science team. And this question is from Emilia. Good evening. I would like to know how many places there are within the dentistry degree. And Yaitha will happily answer that question within the live chat. We have a couple other questions that have rolled in for me. What would be your advice for a student from the Netherlands to live on campus or in the city? Oof, that's a tough question. I would say it's really popular with international students to live their first year here on campus. You're really relocating from another country, you're learning Spanish, and it might be convenient for you to live here on campus the first year. And then, if you so choose, the second year, you could explore renting a flat in the town of Villaviciosa de Odón or in the heart of the city center. Again, that's a really tough question to answer. It really just comes down to personal preference, but I do invite you to come here on campus to see our university and take a look at our on-campus dormitories through the company called Zior. So thank you for that question. Here we have another question from Yosra. After we pay the reservation fee, is there a deadline to finish the matricula, sign the documents, and deposit the credentials, as well as the school reports? And Yosara, I would recommend that you finish the inscription and bring your legal requirements before the beginning of classes in September. So I would recommend that you finish the inscription process and that you bring all of that documentation here on campus before the beginning of September. Thank you so much. And it looks like this is the last question that has rolled in through the chat. Well, actually, there's been a couple more. This one is from Daniela. Thank you for your question, Daniela. As a transfer student, would credits be taken into consideration, and would I have to repeat the first year? As a transfer student, would credits be taken into consideration, and would I have to repeat the first year? Yes, great. And again, so one of my colleagues will answer that within the live chat. Thank you so much, Daniela. And here's a question from Patricia Filippi. Hi, is it possible to start the application process in February, even if a French student will get the results of the final high school diploma in July? And the answer is yes. You can start the process now. You do have a large portion of the grades that we do need to process your candidacy. And you can start the admission process right now. So you can go ahead and take your admissions tests and be guided by one of our designated enrollment advisors from one of our various faculties. Okay? And here's another question from Mackay Williams again. Do we get the email with the degree information and a designated student advisor? And the answer is yes. Tomorrow we will send you the electronic version of your brochure by email, and one of our enrollment advisors will get in contact with you to start the process. But before we finish up this event, I will show a slide in which you will have the contact information. Here we have right here. Here is the contact information. If you would like to preemptively get in contact with one of our enrollment advisors, this is where you can take a look to get in contact with them. You have both their telephone and email. Okay? Great. So let's take a look to see if we have had any questions roll in. Yes, we have one from Ines Pillai. Thank you for your question, Ines. What is the deadline for applying for international students? There really is no deadline. The application process will remain open, Ines, until all the spots are filled up. We are now in 2023. As I mentioned, there are a limited number of spaces per degree, so now is an incredible time to get in contact with one of our advisors and to start the process. Because it would be a shame for you to start the process in May or June and realize that there are no more spaces available. So it looks like that will conclude our Q&A session. Again, you do have the contact information on the screen that I just showed, and we will get in contact with you tomorrow. So thank you again, students, for all of your questions, and thank you to our colleagues for your detailed answers within the live chat. Now, students attending this evening, choosing a degree in a university is without doubt one of the most difficult decisions a young person has to make. Therefore, it is my recommendation to research in detail a wide range of universities, to take a look at their four-year curriculum, evaluate the professors and on-campus installations, take into account the internship offerings, and explore the various extracurricular activities at hand. Because those of us that are a bit older than you can agree that your university years from 18 to 22, 23, or 24 years old is perhaps one of the most exciting chapters in a person's life. So if you do envision yourself studying through project-based learning, gaining experience in a professional setting, participating in clubs and sports teams, we have over 25 sports teams, and cultivating lifelong friendships with classmates from all around the world, perhaps the Universidad Europea de Madrid is the right fit for you. Our next on-campus open house event will be on the 25th of February. If you would like to come here on campus to take a look at our state-of-the-art installations. And on behalf of the university, thank you so much for connecting with us this evening. Thank you to my team within the admissions department, David, Estefi, Yaitha, Virginia, Mitsue, as well as to the technicians and the production team for making this event a reality. And of course, a very special thank you to all interested students and families for your participation in this open house event. Classes will start in September of 2023, and we do hope to see you all around campus. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Good evening, and buenas noches.